Well, welcome all of you. This is a auspicious occasion. My name is Judge Doug Stevens. I'm the small claims judge in Pike Township. One of the things I get to do is do weddings. I said it kind of makes up for my Tuesday mornings in court where I'm throwing people out of their houses. So Tuesdays I'm breaking up homes, and when I get to do weddings I get to combine them. So this is a good opportunity for me. It makes up for some of the stuff I have to do as part of my job. So I'm sure that David and Marcia are glad that you're all here in this wonderful setting for a wedding. Normally you'd be in a big church or outside, but this is where most of you know them, so this is the best place to have it. And I didn't have to walk far. Those of you who don't know, my office is upstairs. I'm not a minister, so you're gonna a lot of things you will hear from me and performing this wedding are kind of non-clerical. One of the things I like to do is talk a little bit about. At some point in time, we're going to get to exchanging rings, I assume. And I was a history teacher, so I always like to give the history of a wedding band. A lot of us, wear them, and we look at them, and they're all the same. If you go to a wedding, they'll tell you they're made out of precious metal, have precious stones. They're perfect. They have no beginning, no end, and they may have a lot of representation of different things. The biggest thing is when somebody walks out of a wedding and they're wearing one of this, suddenly you know a lot about them. You might not know them. You can walk up to them at a party, look down at their left hand, and you can strike up a conversation. How long you've been married, how many kids you got, things like that. But I think it's important to know maybe about the history of these rings. The earliest people that we know that used them, there could have been some earlier, but the Greeks wrote about them. The Greeks believed that there was a vein that ran from this finger directly to your heart. That's why they chose this finger to put them on. Alexander the Great, as he conquered most of the world, most of the known world at least, one of the things he did was he knew he was going to be going that way, and he knew eventually he'd have to come back this way. And what he did is he conquered, he went along, he put his people in place and customs that they had. So the custom of a wedding ring was one of the customs he left behind. When he died, his general Ptolemy, and his last descendant was Cleopatra, and we know how that turned out, so I hope that doesn't, so check for snakes. That tradition was passed on down all the way to Cleopatra. When the Romans took over Egypt, they adopted those policies and practices that they liked. I always like to refer to the Romans as the great stealers of culture. If they saw something they liked, they took it and they said it was theirs. Well, they did. They took the practice of a wedding ring and it became part of the civil Roman culture. But then when the Catholic Church became the Church of Rome, then it spread throughout the Roman Empire. When the Roman Empire fell, then it was left in all of Europe where they had conquered, and then it made its way here. So when you see somebody wearing a wedding ring, I've got you the history from now back to the time of Alexander the Great. Going that way east, I don't know what the Chinese were doing, what the Indians were doing, but I'm giving the Western Civ version of what the rings are doing. So, with that, we will do a fairly brief ceremony. When a couple enters into and comes to get married, there's always a blending of families or traditions. In a church wedding, it's symbolized with candles, and they do the unity candles ceremony. Here, it's basically getting in front of your friends, exchanging vows, and vows and rings. So today, when you walk out, you'll have these nice shiny rings, and we'll see how long they stay nice and shiny with you doing your work and you doing your work. And what usually happens is he loses his, and you put yours somewhere, and you know where it is, but you don't wear it. They do become, as you said, they're a symbol. So when you leave here today, everybody who's here is a witness, but then everybody's going to know that somewhere along the way, whether it was here in Las Vegas, that you made a commitment today. So, with that, I will point out that marriage is not just a contract, it's a commitment. It's a commitment to know that the two of you now are putting together your two separate lives and making them one. And what we always talk about is how the two separate lives now are better as a result of a marriage. Things that you used to enjoy and the things that you used to enjoy. Now you have to figure out what it is she enjoys, and you have to remember her birthday and your anniversary. It's another day for you to remember. I would suggest you go get a tattoo.
I already got a dog tag.
Well, like I said, my wife's birthday is easy to remember because it's the day after mine, and our wedding is easy to remember because we got married on Friday the 13th. So. A lot of jokes go on about that, but when two people come together and make that commitment, hopefully it's to make their lives better and those around them better, because people will see what commitment you've made. This commitment here for this. I mean, this is a huge financial commitment to do this, but now you're making a commitment that's between the two of you to say, hey, not only do we want to do this restaurant together, we want to plan the rest of our lives together. I knew that was going to happen because I kept catching.
That's okay.
The other one's going to come down, so I'm going to put it over here. Well, we're one candle short. Thank you.
It's falling apart.
Quick, Judge, get this over before the thing falls apart. So, with that, Marcia, do you take David to be your lawfully wedded husband, to keep him in sickness and health, richer and poor, probably right now poorer, until this place really starts producing the money, and to put all others aside and to keep him until death do you part?
I do.
You, David, take Marcia for better or worse, sickness and in health, to put all others aside and to keep her unto yourself until death do you part.
I do.
All right. With that commitment, do you folks have rings?
We do.
All right. Let's give this one. I only have that one. Now, I always say, like I said, these. We know you got the history about when they go. So the reason I gave you that history was because most guys mess this part up. All right, put this on her hand and repeat after me. And then women always stick out the correct hand. They never mess that up. It's the guys. And Marcia, with this ring.
We'll get you some to go.
I thee wed.
I do.
I got myself short. This ring represents my commitment to you.
This ring represents my commitment to you.
And a token of my love.
Token of my love.
All right, Marcia, repeat after me. David, I accept this ring from you.
David, I accept this ring from you.
As a token of your love.
As a token of your love.
All right. Yep. With this ring.
With this ring.
I thee wed.
I thee wed.
And it serves as a token of my love.
It serves as a token of my love.
And David, repeat after me. This ring I accept, Marcia.
This ring I accept.
As a token of your love.
As a token of your love.
You didn't think you were going to get to say something about that. All right, now, by the authority vested in me in the state of Indiana, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss your wife.
No.